The path to glory in service to the Chaos Gods ends in ruin for anyone who follows it in blind faith. Yet SAYL the Faithless walks a path of his own making. Though blind, his otherworldly sight shows him the way. No one can escape his treachery until it is too late. No one is beneath his friendship. No one above his betrayal. The path he walks is perilous, but it is his own, and so will be his glory.
The greater my goodwill, the greater the pain I hold in store.
Hello everyone, FAITHLESS, and we're going to be starting a brand new Norsca campaign as SAYL the Faithless. I am very, very excited to check out not only his mechanics, but the Norsca rework. We are going to be experiencing this together, and I'm actually super excited to play Norsca again. For my personal story with Warhammer, I bought Warhammer 1 and tried it a little bit with Call France, but it was Norsca where I decided to buy a DLC to see if I'd like it enough, and Norsca hooked me. But I absolutely love Norsca, but they have been desperately neglected for a long time, so I was very happy to see them get a lot of love. But for SAYL, for his faction mechanics, we have access to his manipulations, which we'll look at in just a second. His faction effects, he gives Lord and Heroic rank 2 for Shamans, Power Reserve Capacity for all of his armies, and Weapon Strength for Kurgan Horsemen. And for his personal stuff, of course, he gets more spell intensity, so he's a really good caster, reduced miscast base chance, and he gives Poison Attack for Kurgan Horsemen, and has his Nightmaw ability, which I'm kind of disappointed by. It's just a quick little ability. I was hoping it would be a summon like Krell at least, if not a legendary hero, but that's what we'll have to do with for now. So for SAYL the Faithless, Dark Ritual, this is the end game of his campaign. So to do the Dark Ritual, we have to raise Chaos Altars to gain the attention of the forces of... raising Chaos Altars will gain the attention of the forces of Order, who will send forces to oppose you. Okay. Constricting Chaos Altars will gather the arcane power required to carry out your ultimate goal, the Dark Ritual. So for his manipulations, this is his base mechanic. So special actions, I think this is similar to the Changing of Ways for Tzeentch, but more specific and a little bit more fleshed out for him in particular. So manipulations can target friendly or enemy armies as well as settlements. Okay. 4 manipulations are available from the start, 3 further tiers becoming available as we make progress towards the Dark Ritual. Okay, so the Dark Ritual looks like it'll have different phases. And as we do more phases, we'll unlock more of his manipulations. Once a manipulation and its target have been selected, it may be performed via this button. This triggers a cooldown time and increases the attention of the gods. So I'm curious what this is going to do, attention of the gods. Each manipulation performed increases the attention of the gods, gradually filling the central circular bar by varying amounts, as detailed in the Leering Oculus tooltip. Okay, with less frequent manipulation activity, attention can also decrease. So it seems like the more we use it, the higher the attention goes. If we use it less often, we get decreases. So divided into segments, tooltips detailing the different levels of height and attention. Increasing level will cause dilemmas with potentially undesirable consequences. Okay, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Really good, but can also come back to haunt you. Okay, so let's look at some of these to start with. This will give visibility over the factions, regions, and armies. And we get increased action success against them. Gain 250 spoil. So this is the new resource for Norsca, which we'll look at that in a little bit. Income, we steal their income. Oh, I guess we don't steal it. It just reduces their income. And we get a random rare magic item. We get an army, tired vigor, and -6 leadership. That's pretty cool. That'll make like battle much, much easier. Especially if you're fighting a lot in melee. Alright, and then this one targets a friendly caster. -25% cooldown to all spells. The target character will gain a percentage of all the other army's wounds of magic in the province. Okay, that's cool. Look at those more in a sec. So as far as SAYL, we start with 2 Marauder Bearmen, third one with great weapons, 2 Kurgan Horsemen with dual weapons, and a Cursed Ettin Caller. So this guy's pretty awesome. He's a giant. And this version, the Rune Caller, has some bound spells. So we get Enfeebling Foe, Flock of Doom, and Doom and Darkness. And they also have a dual personality. So when we are below 50% HP, we get a heal and power reserves and power recharge. That's pretty cool. And when we're above 50%, we get physical resist, and we negate magical weapons and reduce spell mastery. Okay, that's pretty cool. 35 armor, 60 melee attack along with magic attacks, 35 melee defense, so not quite as good on the defensive side, but 550 weapon strength. Most of it is, over half is just non-armor piercing, so you're going to be able to do damage, but not quite as much to armored infantry, but probably be very, very valuable. As far as SAYL, so he gets access to a combination of the Lore of Shadows and the Lore of Heavens. Looks like we get Wind Blasts, Penumbral Pendulum, Thunderbolt, Rockham's Mind Razor, which gives weapon strength and magic attacks, Chain Lightning, which can be really good. Okay. We'll look at these more once we start getting some skill points. We have our Premier Noble. So this is the new DLC hero for Norsca. He's kind of a beat stick, I think. 110 armor. Magic and sundering attacks with very high melee attack and weapon strength and bonus versus large. Okay, so he's going to be a very good beat stick, probably. You can get regeneration, ward save, Bust for Premier. Okay, I'm very excited to see some of this. Let's get him in the army. So for spoils is the new resource. So spoils are required to occupy non-Norscan regions in addition to other uses. Spoils are primarily gained by using the pillage post-battle option to raise defeated settlements. Pillaged spoils must be transported to your nearest owned settlement or altar by a pillaging force, which is automatically mustered upon pillaging. Okay. And technology tree, we have the brand new technology tree. So it looks like this one is mostly combat buffs. Tribal strength, I'm going to guess, is more on the campaign map. What is conquest, though? Whoa, that's interesting. So these are like rewards for certain achievements across the campaign map. So 110 battles against the High Elves or Occupy Lothern, we just get these. So it's similar to like the Beastmen, where they have these technologies that unlock by getting some achievements. That's pretty cool. For us, Norsca relies a lot on melee. Early ones. Leadership and recruiting for Marauder units. Bonuses for trolls and monsters. Leadership for... Looks like these are more the monsters. These are more like the monsters, infantry, and lower tier beasts. Okay. For SAYL, you get bonuses to Kurgan Horsemen. So maybe we go for Marauder stuff to start off with. Eventually we get to Kurgans up here. Reload time reduction and speed. Marauder mass for chariots. Casualty replenishment, physical resist, armor and melee defense. Maybe go on campaign map first. Control. Campaign movement range is always really nice for Norsca. We'll start with that one. And we start with any non-aggression pacts or anything? Nope, we're just at war with this Norscan faction. Got the Chaos Dwarves nearby. Warriors of Chaos, and then we also have Village down over here at the Red Keep. But this is a brand new territory, actually, that was added with this update. So let's get into our first battle first. So Norscan Chieftain, 1 Berserker, 2 Great Weapons, and Hunter's Javelins. Okay. These guys are anti-large missiles, so we do have to be careful of that. But let's do our first battle as SAYL the Faithless. Have our first battle for SAYL the Faithless coming against another Norscan faction. They have Marauders, 2 things of Great Weapons, and some Hunters in the back. Kirstetten is our giant guy. He actually has Vanguard deployment, which is very, very nice on a giant. It's kind of a nuts, actually. 15% missile resist. We're going to throw down one of his Bound Flock of Dooms right there. We get Berserkers and the Marauders. The Berserkers are really, really nasty. I think these guys got some changes in the update. They are, I think, slightly worse on the defensive side, but their melee stats on the offensive side get way better, plus their bonus infantry is really, really big. So, very noble going in, trying to tie these guys down while our Kirstetten comes in for a big old sweep. In the back, though, they're trying to move in a lot of the Marauders. These Hunters still in the back. We have our Kurgan Horsemen somewhere coming around. There we go. While SAYL throws down some Wind Blasts on them. Kurgan Horsemen are really, really awesome. They are very, very fast, 90. They have poison attacks when they're in SAYL's army. Devastating Flanker, Frenzy, and Rage, so they can do a lot of damage. Rage, you kind of think you want to build up having them chase down units rather than pure fighting, because once they lose their charge bonus, they're pretty vulnerable. I think get a nice charge right there, running these Marauder Hunters down on the hill. We have our Marauders up here fighting some Great Weapons, though. That's probably not going super well for us, because these are Great Weapons, so they do a lot more damage than we do. Yeah, we're almost at half health, and they're lost about a third. Getting Rune Color, though. Taking a little bit of damage, but he's been doing pretty good. The Marauder Berserkers have gone into a rampage. But we have a big blob coming up here. The Rune Color from Mir Noble are trying to team up on the enemy chieftain right here. And finish him off early. We had Nightmaw come down. I just barely missed that one. We'll try to find the next one. But, yeah. First battle going pretty well. On this side, we finally collapse all of them. And the battle is ours. We'll use the last little bit of time, though, to use our bound spells and finish off the sword for some extra money. Okay, that went pretty well. Except for these Marauders, they were fighting Great Weapons, so did quite a bit of damage since they don't have much armor. So we could go for replenishment, get 8%, some more experience, or a little bit of gold. I think we just take the heal, since we'll probably have another fight right here. Okay, we'll capture and occupy that.
SAYL the Faithless.
For SAYL, what do we want to do? Probably go down his spell line first. Because... oh, okay, so this is new too. So for Norscan factions, they can send their tribesmen and province to raid. Instill fear, improve their devotion to the Chaos Gods. So use a marauding action to spend spoils. Okay, that's how we spend it a little bit. Only one can be active at a time. So this one would give... well, I guess it would increase Winds of Magic and stuff for enemy armies. And then... oh, so for each manipulation used while this action is active, you get an additional miscast base chance for enemies, but units recruited have a permanent bonus to melee attack and armor. Okay, that's really, really cool. We'll look at that in just a second. Okay, spell intensity, cooldown reduction for spells. There's a medic power reserve. Just gives us some straight money and more money for every foreign settlement in the province, along with more campaign movement range, although it does do a lot of negative control. And this last one reduces enemy casualty replenishment, reinforcement, leadership. -10 leadership. Okay. Yeah, we'll look at those a little bit more. As far as spellcasting, deciding on whether we want to build up spells right away. So the new Norscan building trees. Okay, this is interesting. So it looks like a bunch of them have split options. So just cost more gold, but on this, oh, okay, so you can spend spoils on the other side, and they will have, is it the same effects? Okay, so it is the same effects, just slightly different for the spoils part. But on unit recruitment, oh, that's very interesting. It affects unit recruitment too. You can build an earlier tier, well, a combined tier that gets you higher tier units available at a tier below. Cost a lot of spoils though. Okay, but if we can get Marauder Champions at tier 3, we could get War Mammoths at tier 4. Okay, we'll take that in mind. Yeah, we want other spellcasters, which tier 3 for them and tier 4 for the Famir. Okay, so we do want to put a lot of points into spellcasting. Famir Noble, we already have one, so I doubt this would... I'll just get another one right away. So we can go after Skin Wolves, more Kurgan stuff, Trolls and Famir. I think we go for some Famir actually, since this guy can give some good bonuses to them. Just upgrade this one at the start to get more Marauder stuff, yeah. Then income from post-battle loot, sacking settlements, and increased spoils. Income and growth, growth and control, or control and income, but it gives us recruit rank, faction-wide, well, local province, but I think this one becomes faction-wide, okay. Let's go for... Okay, we actually get Famir Noble increased capacity here. So we'll do that one. SAYL. Let's just put a point to that. We want to get Penumbral Pendulum. Pendulum's usually pretty good. And let's take Broken Mount. Oh crap, I forgot to see if there was a different channeling stance for him. It doesn't look like it, so... Alright, we'll take this one again, since we're in Legendary and we need all the help we can get. We just want to reduce our casualties. Moving in again. Another quick little battle with SAYL. This time, get some more Norscans, but they have a little bit different army roster this time. No Berserkers, but they have some Marauder Hunters. These are the Shield Breaker variant. They have throwing axes, along with some Marauder Horsemen who also have their own throwing axes, I believe. But these guys can be very, very annoying. They have 90 speed to start with for base, and they're pretty hard to catch up. Our Kurgan Horsemen also have 90 speed, so we're going to be having some trouble getting on them. And first volley by the Marauder Horseman actually does a fair amount of damage. Some of it missed, but on the side, our in Rune Caller with Vanguard deployed, try to get some early spells off as they clump up right here. Our Famir Noble, he's not waiting for anyone, he's going to go right in. But the rest of our forces move up. We have our Marauder Bearmen. They are slower than the regular Marauders. It looks like these guys have 35 speed, these are 31. So they'll get to the front line a little bit slower, but they have over 2,000 more HP, I think, almost 3,000. So very, very tanky, much better defensive stats, and they still have Rage, so they'll build up more combat stats the longer they're in melee. There's a nice charge from these Kurgan Horsemen on the Marauder Hunters. On the side too, these Kurgan Horsemen, dual weapons, so they're anti-infantry. They're doing a fair amount of damage, we just don't want to keep them in there too long, now that the charge bonus is worn off. But here's Nightmaw for SAYL. Kind of, well, I'm not kind of, I'm very disappointed it's not a summon like Kriel or a legendary hero, but it's a nitpicky thing since the rest of the update has been very good so far. But another Flock of Doom. Man, these guys are super good. Bound Flock of Doom, Bound Doom and Darkness for the minus leadership. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, those Marauder Horsemen, now you can actually see they're doing quite a bit of damage to our guys. They got these guys down to 37 models. 51 on these guys still, but they have lost a lot of HP, so they may lose models quickly. But we want to get out of there before these Marauders catch up. Premier Noble leading the charge on this side. Doom and Darkness trying to break the leadership of these enemy Marauders. Our Bearmen getting into melee. These Marauder Horsemen trapped right there. That Maroon Color did a good job breaking off the other guys on this side. SAYL and his folk over here routed off the other ones. It looks like we've gotten the victory. Everything's routed off once more. Man, those Marauder Horsemen managed to do quite a bit of damage to our Quicken Horsemen. These guys are pretty powerful, but looks like they're glass cannons, so I gotta be more careful with them. Okay, so we're unable to construct altars before starting the Great Ritual, and I think to start the Great Ritual we had to have more settlements. Because it's a Norscan settlement, I think we can occupy it without paying spoils. If we pillage and raise it, we get... Oh, so you can get unique items from doing this? I don't think I want to do it in the starting province, though, because it's one we want to build up a little bit. So we'll we'll delay that a little bit. So maintain control of one province through military allies or vassals. Okay, so now that we've actually taken this, what can we recruit? We can only recruit basic Marauders, so I'm not super worried about doing this one right now for the extra recruit bonuses. And spoils. Maybe we want to save our spoils too. I'm not sure how easy it is to get them. Let's get... We don't have any anti-large at the moment, so let's get a few... Let's get like one Spearman and some Marauder Hunters just for some ranged. These guys have Shieldbreaker too, which can be very nice. SAYL, let's get Pendulum. And our Noble. So let's look and see what his skills actually give us. Oh, he has Stimulate Growth, Mobility. Those are both really, really good passives. But we can get... Bonus infantry and armor for familiar warriors. Familiar warriors, I think, are normally just anti-large. Oh no, these guys, there's an anti-large, anti-infantry variant. That lets you know I haven't played Norsca in a while. Some more armor piercing and a bonus versus large, a bigger bonus versus large. Increased mobility, income from raiding. Okay, that one sounds really, really good. We'll probably get that one. But ward save and favorite of the matriarch. What does this do? So it's a temporary buff for 19 seconds of big melee attack and leadership, and we have to be above 50% HP. Regen and hit points, always amazing. Unyielding assault for Premier. This is really good. It means their melee attack can't drop. Speed and charge bonus, shrouding mists. Wait, from the mist, is that an ability we already have? Oh, it is. Okay. So of course he has a big missile resist. This gives missile resist to nearby units. Okay. So it makes it bigger. Gives us increased ambush success chance, stock, or familiar stuff. Okay. Let's start with increased mobility. And, oh, I didn't look at this again. Visibility. I should have done this one first to get the extra spoils and the magic item. Alright, well, we'll keep that in mind to do it next time. And here. And this, the fact that you can build like some spoil versions of unit recruitment at minor settlements is awesome. Human growth, control, and we'll do this one actually to get the recruit rank, I think. And speaking of, do we want to recruit a shaman to go along with us to start getting some experience, or do we go with a Marauder Chieftain? Let's do a shaman sorcerer since we haven't seen them. So they nullify all climate penalties, but they get reduced movement range and they get more charge. Oh, with that, I forgot we didn't look through all of the different lores. Metal magic is always good for armor piercing, especially for Cathay and Chaos Dwarves. Ooh, minus enemy leadership. Icon of Endless Slaughter, I think, is just a personal buff. Leadership and Vigor. Okay, Death. Oh, so that's interesting. There's one that this just gives -3 leadership, but this one gives -5 leadership and immune to contact effects. That's really, really good. Yeah, let's do that one. Lord Death can be pretty good too. We'll get him with Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is a very good spell. Actually, I should put 1 point into Ground Marcher, so I'll do that. And go to the next turn. So yeah, with our near right enemies, so potential enemies, we have Chaos Dwarves, Warriors of Chaos, some more Norscan factions. With Norscan factions, that's right, we can confederate Norscan factions if we defeat their faction leader in combat. I'm curious with the Southern Norscan faction that I think is normally a vassal of Village. I would assume you don't confederate them if they're already a vassal of someone else, but manipulation panel, yep, we already looked through this. So this is the one we want, though. Can we reach that in a single turn? No, we cannot. Okay, so reduces their income. Yeah, let's do that. Obsidian Blade, that's a good item. SAYL, he can get a Mammoth, right? At rank 22, okay. We get a horse at rank 4 and a chariot at rank 10. The chariot's pretty decent. As far as recruitment, do they have any large units? Probably not. Let's get like one more Spearman because they're always useful. And let's get another great weapon if we're going to be fighting like Chaos Dwarf armor. They are a vassal, so yeah, I'm not sure what happens on that. Who's the... Okay, Tar is the faction leader? Is that him? Okay, that is him. So if we defeat him, we'll get the opportunity to confederate. Yeah, I don't think we need to use any of those right away. I'm curious how scarce spoil is going to be as a resource. Because I should look at the diplomacy screen and see how Village feels about us, whether he's inclined to be an enemy or kind of like an ally or just kind of neutral. This is a Warriors of Chaos faction, right? Not Norsca? Okay, so we can't confederate them. This is the one that just normally goes right after Cathay the entire time, I think. The one that spawns over and over. Okay, do we want to do another one? Reduce their... how many units are in the garrison? 5 or 6, and 7 more, plus the Lord, so 14 in total. We're about even. Let's use this other manipulation. Let's do it to reduce his leadership and vigor. I think that'll be good.
I have a ritual that may help.
So where was the meter that's showed us? Attention of the gods. We'll figure that out after. Technology, though, we finished the campaign movement range, so vigor reduction when defending, minus enemy control, income from raiding. Oh. I didn't think about raiding, because we have raiding stance, raiding camp, right? It still would have been 2 turns of recruitment. Okay, that's fine that we didn't do that. Ambush success chance, hero action, global recruitment. Okay, I want this one. Post battle loot, 10% is a lot. Magic item. Okay, let's go for that one. Yeah, the rating income will be very good as well.
I can make use of this.
And yeah, I don't think the other ones will be okay.
Seer of the wastes, make them curse this day.
Here to support, put him in raiding camp stance. So he gets the increased leadership and melee defense. Ooh, wow. Did they change it encampment stance? Because before it used to be 5 leadership and 5 melee defense. Maybe it's just bigger for Norsca. And, okay. Close victory still. So mostly just marauders, but they do have some spearmen and hunters and marauder horsemen. I need to remember these guys were a pain. Because they have 90 speed and our Kurgan horsemen have 90. So yeah, catching them is annoying. But let's do it. Norsca. I always love that chat. Well, this is probably our first real more even battle against this enemy Norscan faction. They have around 14 units, and so do we. We have our secondary lord coming in. He is a shaman sorcerer of the lore of death. But they got a lot of marauders, 1 marauder horseman, some spearmen, so we do have to be careful with our wound collar. And some marauder hunters. These are the lower range shield breaker variant, so they can do some damage. For us, though, we're moving forward. We've recruited a few more units. We got some marauders with great weapons now to go with our bearmen who have great weapons. And some marauder hunters, so we finally have some ranged of our own. SAYL the Faithless does now have access to Penumbral Pendulum. It's a very good spell. Used to be ridiculously overpowered when Warhammer 3 first launched, but they've nerfed it. Still pretty good, just not crazy insane like it used to be. Vulnerable, kind of eyeing the enemy army, trying to pick out who he wants to go after, but the rune collar there, Bound Flock of Doom hits 5 units. That's going to get great value for us. Our Kurgan Horsemen still a little bit damaged from the previous battle. These guys back up to full, but these ones still low at 37 models, so we got to be a little bit more careful with them. But SAYL is ready to get down and dirty with Nightmaw once again. Does 60% armor piercing, so it can be pretty good. But I have noticed on its area of effect that it is a little bit less than like most wind spells are. Most wind spells go longer than their marker indicates. This one actually seems like it goes a teeny bit shorter. So we'll keep that in mind. Our Shaman Sorcerer are going to come on just a little bit. This is our first time seeing the new generic lord. Now his trait is actually pretty good. His trait actually reduces leadership of enemy armies by -5. So let's see whether that came through. Yes, it's part of that other 9, which is awesome. So it's going to be very, very good on that front. Yeah, so with Nightmaw... Oh, that was our Pendulum instead. But very good spell. Here's Nightmaw right there. So even though it says it's going to end right here... Well, I guess it goes a teeny bit further. But it doesn't feel quite as impactful as I would hope for being one of like the key features of SAYL. But Marauders doing pretty good, although those throwing axes are going to start to wreck these guys actually. That shield breaker reducing the missile block chance, but we got our own coming in, trying to get on these guys. Great weapons coming in to provide some support. And our great weapon bearmen are probably over on this side right there. at Mooncaller doing some nice work, getting a few guys. We're now trying to push through, come over, try to get on this enemy lord right there. SAYL team up. Doom and Darkness coming down from the Get Mooncaller as well. I mean, these guys look awesome. Little gimp on one side. So the Faithless is the another Nightmare right there. That's going to do pretty good damage. It doesn't seem like it does okay, but it doesn't seem like it does. It's not as dense of its damage. It looks like it just kind of skips back and forth, rather than some other spells where it's like direct, very, very. Well, dense is the best word. I'm trying to think of another word to describe it, where it's just very compact and very. Like every single part that you see where he goes through does a lot of damage. Nightmot seems like it's not quite there yet, but. Kurgan Horseman coming in the back, trying to clean up some units. The enemy Lord has been routed. We're just trying to finish him off. We have a Doom and Darkness from the Mooncaller, which broke him for good. Another big pendulum right there. Probably enough to break the leadership of the army. Victory is ours, actually, without too many casualties, it looks like. That battle actually went really well. Didn't lose too many guys, and these Kurgan, I don't think, lost any guys either, so they're going to be able to heal up a little bit more. Oh, I didn't see what item we got. Man, I've... Oh, I'm just thinking about this. So if we pillage this, we'll get some extra resources, plus some magic items. But we're going to be able to confederate this guy, this faction, and then we can probably just use another lord to occupy it. Let's try it. Oh, so this okay, interesting. So we defeated the warlord. We can confederate him. We could release him and take some money, military lines, or we execute him. Let's just confederate, I think, or spoils. It's 100. We'll get the extra spoils. I feel like we're gonna need more of that. So that's interesting. So this is like a blood host for corn. So whenever you pillage and raise a settlement, you get a small army. Oh, cool. Okay, but we figured out that pillaging and raising uses all of our movement points, though. Can we occupy this right away? Could. Right, you're just going to start raiding enemy territory. You will colonize this. Yeah, and SAYL, unfortunately, we're not quite there. So the Dark Ritual, do we have it available yet?
Tonight we feast.
So to get the first here, we have to have 4 Chaos Altars. Okay. That spawns an Empire army. All right. Let's put a point to Route Marcher for SAYL. Is there a spell up here I really want right away? Because, like, Pendulum has 50% armor piercing. Uranon's 100%. Chain Lightning, I guess. Chain Lightning's 100%, and it can do big damage to big groups, which might be useful against the Chaos Dwarves. Yeah, we'll try to get that, and then we'll go down to red and blue line stuff. Let's put a point into... Let's put a point to Uranon's Thunderbolt. This can be very good at killing characters or artillery.
Greater means greater ends.
Stimulate growth. I'm going to save the point so we can upgrade both of these next time at rank 5. Even if I march you... Okay, yeah. So... Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you in March Stance, because there's a trait you get for being in March Stance several turns that give you more movement range, and we'll just recruit with this army. Let's get some more Marauder Bearmen. They are pretty equal. Actually, they have much better stats, actually. 32 melee attack. Oh, so their melee attack is about the same, but their defenses are much better, and they have more HP, and they're immune to psychology, so yeah, we'll get that. For the Lord, let's do... battle loot. We'll put more points into spells for him.
My pacts have borne fruit.
And Desolation Ridge, start rebuilding that. Maybe that wasn't the smartest idea, because it used up a lot of our funds, but let's look at our magic items since we have got some. Oh, I forgot to equip these. The Obsidian Blade. Let's put that on our Familiar Noble. And I guess SAYL himself. Okay. The Featherfold Torque gives speed, charge bonus, and a debuff to nearby flying units. The speed and charge bonus is probably just going to be best on you.
Arch Sorcerer of the Dolgan.
That's good for this turn. Okay, now that I know this spawns a free army, we'll try to make very good use of that. Although, I think if you erect Chaos Altars, you can't do that, so it's one or the other. So I think it's just a balance between making progress on our Dark Ritual or getting more spoils. Okay, we want you to lead the attack. Oh, you actually SAYL can lead the attack. Cool. Zatan the Black is already down here. Where are you going? Why are you trespassing? Actually, minus 29, but it's going up. Wait, broken treaties? What treaty did we have? Okay, well, I guess he's going to be an enemy. So maybe I have this guy lead the attack, so that SAYL can use some of his movement range to come back to here after. Or maybe we don't even need to. Maybe if we just have this guy, we'll have 6 units, so 5 plus the hero. They will have 6. Okay, let's actually just...
Tribal fury.
Yeah, we'll send this guy to lead the attack. That's the last province we need. The last settlement for the province, I should say.
Okay. Marauding.
Destroyed.
This one, close victory. I'm fine with that. Since this army is only temporary anyway. We don't want to raise the Chaos Altar here, I think, because we want full control of the province. So that gets us some more money. Engineers, naps. Oh, maybe these armies are not free.
Overrun the world.
Okay. We're learning. I'm going to declare war on these guys because I don't want them to have the chance to attack us. And they're in March stance, so we'll get them for good.
Slaughter the sheep.
You come back. We'll put you in this settlement. I don't know if they can actually heal. Oh, okay. He delivered the spoils. Okay, that's how it works. Alright. We're learning. For this guy, let's do Doom and Darkness. I like that for minus leadership. SAYL will come take out... Actually, are they at war with anyone? Okay, how much will you pay us? 53, a whole whopping 53. Alright, better than nothing. So we have a lot of spoils though, and let's look at manipulations. Visibility. Yeah, okay, I'm not super worried about those right now. So there's something over here we want to do. Reduce the enemy leadership. This one will be very useful against the Chaos Dwarves, though. Minus 10 leadership against all the laborers will be sweet. Yeah, I'll save that.
What now?
Might have this guy like start to. Oh, they've got a. Oh, okay. Chaos Warriors, Aspiring. Oh man, Aspiring Champions. It'd be really nice to have our Death spellcaster or Spirit Leech on this stuff. Trolls, Hellcat. That's actually a lot of serious units, but we can do it. Ooh, our first battle against the Warriors of Chaos. Of course, the Runecaller, we Vanguard deploy him to be able to get in a little bit. But this arm is actually pretty scary despite being a small amount of units. It's got a Hell Cannon, which can be absolutely nasty. Its first shot goes after the Runecaller. Does hit, but it doesn't get too much damage. But Chaos Dwarves are manning that artillery piece. A little bit of a preview, hopefully, for this campaign once we go to war with Zatan's faction. But Chaos Warriors with Halberds, Marauder Horsemen, some Chaos Trolls, and Aspiring Champions. These are the big nasty guys. These are the guys we have to worry about the most because they can be absolutely devastating against anything basically. So SAYL coming in early for some spells. Try to get a Nightmaw right there through this big group of infantry. Get some early damage in. We have Vanguard deployed our Kurgan Horsemen. They're coming around the side. Going to try to get behind and shut down this Hell Cannon as soon as possible because it can do big damage if we're not careful. Like, look at this shot. On our Marauder Bearman, actually kills 3 guys. If this was a normal Marauder, they would have lost way more units. But since they have higher HP per model, it doesn't actually do too terrible. I didn't quite get the charge on these enemy Chaos Trolls, though. Very noble. Trying to bunch up the Inspiring Champions for a little bit, but I kind of realized that's a bad choice because he's good on offense, but only has 35 melee defense, and these Aspiring Champions normally have a lot. They have 33 melee attack right now, but a lot of that is being negated, so yeah, these Kurgan Horsemen doing awesome though. The Hell Cannon shut down immediately. All the crew is dead finally. But the Kurgan Horsemen starting to get into combat with the Aspiring Champions, so not something we want to stay around forever. But Flock of Doom and Doom of Darkness coming down, try to wear down these Chaos Warriors with Halberds. On the far side, Nightmaw coming in for one more bout right there. That Runecaller trying to pick off some Marauders. Looks like the Chaos Trolls have finally broken. They've lost half their models, but they are regenerating, so we'll use those Kurgan Horsemen to hold them back. But most of the enemy has been dealt with, but we have our Aspiring Champions. We're going to try to drop a Lightning Strike on them with Urnon's Thunderbolt. Didn't quite hit with that one. We'll see if we get another one. This side, though, the enemy Lord, enemy Chaos Source, we're still holding out, despite being the caster variant. Oh no, it's just a Chaos Lord. Okay, I thought it was the caster variant, the Chaos Sorcerer. But he's still very good. He has Discouraging on his melee attack, so he can reduce enemy leadership by quite a bit, but luckily we're kind of pounding him. Fear Noble sunders his armor, so that helps get through that chunky boy that's pretty tough. Alright, here we go. Another Urnon's Thunderbolt. We'll try to use SAYL to tie them down for a little bit. Another hit and a miss. Or shoot and a miss, whatever you want to call it. But slowly we're running guys off the battlefield. Kurgan Horsemen doing good, taking out these Marauders. Trying to chase off the Chaos Trolls before they can come back and do too much damage. Chaos Lord is about had it though. He's down to quarter HP. Famir has taken a little bit of damage. Took a lot of HP damage from the Aspiring Champions earlier. Take a big hit right there, but now we've broken the leadership of the Chaos Army. Warriors of Chaos no match for the Norscans, apparently. Go too bad. Yeah, I think the Trolls got a little more value than I should have let happen, but it's like the Aspiring Champions, we didn't let them get into combat too long. We're definitely want the heal. That army's going to be wiped out, but our army's kind of damaged. So this is interesting. So this is against Warriors of Chaos. We have the option to execute them or release them. This is new. Okay. I don't care about the diplomatic relations because we're just going to go and finish them off, but let's release the enemy warlord just for the extra income. And SAYL should be able to make the attack there next turn. Let's get more... I don't remember what Zatan has in his starting army. I know he has artillery. I think, yeah, just more bearmen. They're very good on the defensive side for marauders.
Great shaman.
We're already using our local recruitment. Alright, in order to get the recruit rank, this has to... Oh, this is... It only can get to tier 4 in a large settlement. But the extra recruit rank will come in handy. Horseman... Sure, we'll do it. And our province bonus, we can do some of the chieftains, which gives us those battle loot, recruitment reductions, and recruitment capacity. Increased melee defense. Reduce attrition, and it reduces enemy movement range when they start in the province. Growth and construction building. Probably just want growth. Because most of our negative control is coming from conquest, which that'll go down. Yeah, I feel like this is a good start. Pendulum, how much does this cost? It costs 12. If we get the second point, it's going to go down to 10. Ironon's Thunderbolt will go down from 6 to 4. That's pretty good for a 100% armor piercing spell. I'm actually going to go with that. Do mobility and growth. And, man, we have a lot of spoils. Do we want to... The extra armor. So 4% melee attack bonus for Bearman is going to be what? Like, maybe you want to... Yeah, it's probably not worth it right now. So we'll just do that. We need to start raising some altars, though. Not Drazoth. Zatan is over here. He is at war too, but he didn't have enough movement range, it looks like, to actually come all the way over here. So he's probably still in here. Power Stone, that's a decent item. Equip that real fast. Reserves and power charge. Although, our Winds of Magic is still going up. What about the other army? How are you doing on magic? Give that to you for now, then. Engineer's Knapsack. Restock does... Oh, I guess we do have one missile unit. Gives 15 armor. SAYL isn't getting into melee a whole lot at the moment, so we'll put more on this guy. No ancillaries yet. Let's go take Bloodwine Keep. Oh, this is a province capital, too. Alright, they have an Exalted Hero, Chaos Warriors. Pyrrhic Victory, we gotta fight this manually then. Norsca fighting Warriors of Chaos. We have a numbers advantage. But we are going to a siege battle. One of the dark fortresses of the Warriors of Chaos. A little bit of hiccup right there. But at Rune Color, thankfully for us, we can actually Vanguard deploy quite close to the walls. So we can go and start getting on this gate and taking it down as soon as possible. We're moving with all our infantry over here. Our Kurgan horsemen, we're going to send around to one of the other gates, try to get them through. They can get some capture points or get some rear charges eventually. On this front, though, as part of the garrison, there is a Exalted Hero. This guy can be very, very nasty. 66 melee attack, 57 melee defense. Some of that coming from Siege Defender. But Nightmaw going to come in for a little bit, try to get some early damage on these Chaos Warhounds and these Marauder Great Weapons who are climbing off the walls. We only have one missile unit, our Marauder Hunters. They have shorter range, so it'll be a while before we can actually get them where they can do some damage. But the defense is being led by an enemy caster, a Chaos Lord from Lord of Shadows, so still has 80 armor, very tough to take down. But for some reason the AI decided to post some of the garrison on the far corner where we didn't have anyone, so Chaos Warriors and some Marauders going to take their sweet time getting back over, which will work out for us. But it kind of split up their forces too much. If they'd concentrated where we were coming, they would have been much better off. They had some guys on the walls shooting for a little bit, but we avoided these towers, and these ones only got a few shots off. The Ironon's Thunderbolt used to do huge damage to characters before the rework, but there I think it did a single point of damage. Oh no, it did 69. Nice, but not very nice. Yeah, that used to do like a ton of damage to characters or elite infantry. Elite infantry still take damage, but characters kind of disappointing with the rework that it doesn't do as much as it used to. But Set the Faithless now on his horse moving through. Premier Noble going to try to capture this point. Just want to try to shut down these Marauder Horsemen, but they do manage to get a really nice volley into SAYL. I didn't quite remember to get his Charmed Shield off quick enough to get that missile block chance, so he does take early damage from those throwing axes. But our Marauder Bearman and Spearman moving in. Umcaller coming in to support. For Noble, just fighting on his own right now. Kurgan Horseman, almost through the gate. About 1/5 of its HP left. But yeah, the Chaos Warriors not being a part of the main fight early on is definitely going to be a hindrance for the garrison. Nightmaw coming in, get some damage on these Marauder Horsemen. They have a spread out formation, so they don't take quite very much damage actually. Pretty shallow. But we're teaming up on this Exalted Hero with a combination of the and SAYL and a Premier Noble. He goes down pretty quickly actually. That Sundered Armor from the Premier actually doing a lot of damage, getting down to 70 armor. Etten doesn't have a lot of armor piercing actually for a giant, so mostly just armor, well, mostly just damage, not quite as much armor piercing, so that Sundered Armor is going to help quite a bit. Yeah, this Marauder Horseman still proven to be quite a nuisance though, getting their javelins off into Yet and Runecaller. If he does get low enough, he will get access to some healing from the other personality. But I'm sick of those Marauder Horsemen, so SAYL's going to drop a Pendulum right on top of them, along with a Flock of Doom from the Runecaller. Trying to push in, still trying to take out some of these units, keeping us occupied. On the far side though, Kurgan Horsemen coming in now. Not really anything to contest them. We might think about capturing this point, or eventually going after this leadership point. That's probably more valuable. But, the Chaos Sorcerer Lord still holding up. I haven't seen him cast a whole lot of spells actually, so I wonder what caused that. His leadership is just about to break down to 9. And these Marauder Horsemen though, these guys are just nasty. We're trying to get our Marauder Hunters into range so we can start giving them the business so they will stop killing my giant. But Famir is just going to keep chasing down that Lord. Exalted Hero escaped with 486 HP. Kurgan Horseman, yeah, we're going to go after that leadership point, try to get rid of that Siege Defender bonus. An extra leadership. But we don't really have anything super quick at the moment, so we're just kind of going slow and steady, trying to get our way to the enemy units. Not a lot left. We have two Marauders, one with great weapons, Chaos Warriors, and another full health right here, but they have lost most of their damage dealing units. The Chaos Sorcerer's out of commission, the Exalted Hero's out of commission. Chaos Warriors can do pretty good, but here we have Ironon's Thunderbolt. Let's see how much damage it actually does right there. So, actually did pretty good damage, and Nightmaw coming in for some extra damage. SAYL just trying to hold them in place for long enough for that Thunderbolt to come down, but yeah, get a big charge right there. Actually, look at the impact zone of that charge attack. That knocked down pretty much the entire unit. Keep them from attacking for a little bit, but he's going to start to take some damage if we don't keep him Don't get him out of there real fast. He is low enough where he's getting that heal from the second personality, the savage side. So gonna be helping out on that side. Exalted Hero actually does come back for a little bit. But SAYL gets a nice charge off on him. Leadership 19. Penumbral Pendulum on those Chaos Warriors does do 60% or 50% armor piercing. Probably enough to get the victory. We have the leadership point now, so no more Siege Defender bonus. Kurgan Horsemen coming in for one last charge. The bonus infantry is not going to matter against these enemy horsemen, but they have pretty high weapon strength and good charge, so poison also helps. That will let these guys not get away. And victory is ours. Not too bad, actually, for our first siege battle. Man, I guess we learned that Yurnon's Thunderbolt is not very good against characters anymore, but it is still good against heavy armor. Alright. Pillage and Raise. 342 spoils is quite a bit. I think we'll do that. We'll pillage and raise so we get that other army. Because they'll be very useful at fighting Zatan the Black.
Slaughter the sheep.
SAYL the thief.
Or we have him... I don't know if you can erect a Chaos Altar.
Bring death.
No, looks like it has to be when it's
Try to gather.
controlled by an enemy. Okay. Desolation Ridge. Go for more growth and income. Sounds like a good idea.
Overrun the world.
Can't recruit. Oh yeah, we should occupy this.
Dominate.
Just so we get some replenishment. Oh, I forgot. We can do raiding camp. Oh no, never mind. Yeah, you need at least 25 campaign movement range. Some factions can do raiding camp with 0, but now we know. This is a capital too, so that'll be nice having that. SAYL. Yeah, Chain Lightning will be very useful against Chaos Dwarves. Do we want a passive yet? Smoke and Mirrors, just more speed. No, we still use this spell. We'll make it cheaper.
Greater means.
Premier Noble. Okay, you get your unique stuff at like 10 and 12 for stuff up here, so... You already have high... Yeah, we'll save some of his points, I think, and get his unique line a little bit quicker.
Your will.
And SAYL, do we want to recruit? Oh, we can't recruit anything. Ah,
Yes.
well...
What?
You could recruit...
Enslave.
Oh, we have to actually have a building here first before we can recruit globally too. Okay. Well, you're going to come down this way so you can have us...
Hear no complaining. The augury.
Trying to think if I might not have enough movement range to make it here next turn, even if I march. But I'd like to get some more recruitment since we're not close to full army yet.
I need you for
I'm just going to get some Marauder Hunters.
fear and power.
They have more range than the... or Javelins, since they have more range than the Marauder Hunters. And they have anti-large. These guys just have Shield Breaker. And no new magic items. I just realized Charm Shield. We should probably put that on the Premier Noble, because even though it's mostly for Wrestle Block chance, it does do a 20% ward save for 17 seconds. That'll be very nice on him. Sword of Battle, melee stats.
Divide and conquer.
58 and 30. Oh, we'll probably want that. I know. The extra armor piercing will be nice to get through Zatan. Yeah, I already have pretty high armor piercing. I think I like the extra melee stats.
Wind wielder.
Scarred, but unbound.
On the turn, that will probably be a good ending spot for episode 1. Oh, where does Zatan go? I'm guessing he's over here. Maybe he retreated further. I want to be able to get him like in a settlement or in March stance, so we only have to fight him once, because the 10 can be really, really nasty. He's really hard to kill, especially if he gets higher levels. He gets like regen, and the Lamasu mount is very annoying. Ooh, the gods are angry. Something you have done to anger the gods, so we could pay 1,000 and get control or minus control and growth. Let's take the minus control and growth. But yeah, that is a great spot to end episode 1, guys. We'll pick it up in episode 2 in our Tides of Torment campaign for SAYL the Faithless. I'm FAITHLESS, and have a great day, guys.